Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Tony Talks and Get Up and Grow, where I have conversations with inspirational leaders, influencers, and change makers, people that aren't just doing well in life, but are doing good in the world. Please make sure you share this video. This is one not to miss. Tag your friends. We have the one and only body language expert, Jan Hargrave. She is already here. Let me bring her on screen. There she is. Hey, Jan.
I'm here. Hi, Tony.
So,
This is good.
This is so good. I'm so happy to have you on here again. So we spoke when you were on last week that that we should do another show, and we decided to do another show because Betty and a few other people on here were asking about, is this good when you're dating? And it is everything when you're dating, right? So we decided to have a body language of love episode. Right. So today, the name of our episode is Let's Get It On with Jan Hargrave.
Let's get it on. Yeah, let's get it on. Hey, Tony, good to be with you. And I'm glad that we're going to have some people listening and learning some things because, you know, we all sometimes in our lives dated. And sometimes even if we're married with someone, we're still kind of dating them and we're still sometimes flirting with them. So why not make it be still active and still fun? And then I'll give you some gestures that ladies do that say, wow, this person looks nice. I'll give you some gestures that guys do that say, I think this person looks really, really good. And the reason that we called it Let's Get It On is that in my book, my book about love is called FREEWAY of Love. It's this book. And I don't know if people have this book, but when I wrote the book, I wanted the reader to travel this little highway of romance. So in chapter 1, you just see someone who looks good. Now, chapter 2, you're looking at them and they're looking back at you. So there's a whole eye protocol in this love stuff. In chapter 3, you started maybe walking towards them. Then maybe by chapter 4, maybe you were having a conversation. So the book kind of takes you on this journey. And so that's why I named it FREEWAY of Love. So you're driving down the freeway of love. And since the title of the book, that was a song, an old song, I think Aretha Franklin, On the Freeway of Love. I said, I'll just name every chapter in the book a song. So chapter 1 in this book is titled Let's Get It On. That's chapter 1. Chapter 2, they met eyes. So I titled it The Look of Love, was an old song by Sergio Mendes. Chapter 3, they've gotten closer to each other. So I called it The Closer I Get to You by Roberta Flack. Chapter 4, they touched hands. So I titled I Want a Man with a Slow Hand. And so it goes on and on. There's about 9 chapters in there. But chapter 7 in the book is a chapter on lying between lovers. And I titled it Smooth Operator by Sade. And I listed all the kinds of lies that people tell. We know what's the number 1 lie when people are dating, they tell each other?
What's that?
You know, it's nothing bad. It's I'll call you. That is the number 1 lie. Lie number 10 is I've never done this kind of thing before. Lie number 5 is your age. But the number 1 is I'll call you or I'll text you. So that's how I got into this love stuff.
Wow. So number 10 is I've never done this before. I would have thought that was a little further up the list.
And that was a little bit further. No, that was right up there at the beginning. So when I first started researching body language, and even I think when I taught it in college, I would just sporadically cover something on love. And I'd say, you know, if you're dating someone, you could look for this and look for this, look for this. And then when I wrote my first book, this was the first book, I put 1 chapter on this. 1 chapter on love is in this book. So when I started doing TV, I remember doing Montel Williams shows and Maury shows and Ricky Lake shows. Those are some of the first shows I did years and years ago. They kept asking for the love. They want to know what are some things that men do, what women do that say, I'm interested in you. So that's what made me decide to write the one that's strictly about love, the one that's called FREEWAY of Love. And so, you know, either they wanted to catch a lover in a lie, they wanted to see if someone they saw across the room liked them. So it ended up being a huge selling point for me is this love stuff that I do. And then just a few years ago when STEVE HARVEY was still doing a show, every show that I did with Steve was on love body language. One is how to tell if he likes you, how to tell if she likes you, how to tell when they're lying to you. And one also was how do you sleep with your mate and what it says about your relationship. So you understand what I mean by sleeping. Some of them spoon, you know, one here and then one here, some side by side, some sleep this way, some sleep this way. So even sleep positions can say something about a person's relationship. So it got really weird.
Fascinating. Listen, I'm excited about this show because listen, this is such a hot topic. Whether you're in a relationship, you're not in a relationship, whether you're planning to get into a relationship, or whether you're planning your escape from a relationship, everybody's in some kind of a relationship, right? So I think that this is so good. It's a topic that I love to speak on, is relationships and everything else. And you just bring a whole new dynamic to it.
Okay, let's have fun. We'll have fun with it.
I'm gonna say it again, guys. If now is the time to share this video, whether you're sharing the YouTube video, and you can ask questions. Please ask questions, make comments. It makes things so much more interesting for those of you who were with us last week. You saw how quick, rapid fire we were going through these. And today I do have we've got to keep it tight at an hour today because of prior commitments. So please do share. Please do ask questions. And it's so important, you know. And I'll just say a little bit about love. You know, one of the things that I like to say all the time that, you know, I've certainly learned from other people is that a relationship is not a place where you go to get love. It's a place where you go to give love, because the more you give, the more you get. Now, certainly that doesn't always happen that way. But there was something that you know, that I had read that was great. Actually, matter of fact, my wife pointed out to me. And it was by Rabbi Dessler. He says, the people make a serious mistake in thinking that you give to those you love. That's not correct. The reality is, the real answer is you love those to whom you give.
Okay,
right?
I get it.
To those you love those to whom you give. So it's just important to give, right? It's a place you go to give, not to get. And you know, and I think that we're going to get into a lot of that here. So let's get it on.
We're normally like that. I mean, all human beings in their life have loved someone, whether it's a mom or a dad or a brother or sister or a mate. We all love someone, so we kind of know what it feels like. Plus, we all probably know what it feels like when we get broken up with too, which is a horrible thing because, you know, oh gosh, we've all suffered that. And even if someone's young at 16 going through it, and you'd say, oh, honey, you know, it'll happen to you 100 times again. And they're like, no, I just love this person. Remember how we were this way? So let me give you some facts about flirting and about this love stuff. And then I'll give you some actual indicators of romance. I'm also going to give the people who are with us today a flirting style test so that they can see what's their style of flirting. So a few points I want to mention is this. First of all, is that, do you know that 93% of all people remember their first kiss? You remember your first kiss, Tony?
I do.
You do? Oh, that's good. So everyone listening, I hope you remember, just kind of think of your first kiss. Was it a stolen kiss or was it one you planted?
It was kind of a stolen kiss.
A stolen kiss. How wonderful. It's even sounding better right now. So I just want to mention that 97% of people always will remember their first kiss. And then the other percentage I just wanted to mention was that, do you know that 85% of all courtship gestures are started by women? And women who start the courtship gesture typically get something returned back to them. So, you know, a lady might be somewhere flirting or, you know, usually courtship gestures are started by women. About 85% of them are. And then if someone likes you, then the gesture is reciprocated back to you. And then just a couple of things I want to also mention is that, you know, think of what flirting is. It's only playing with someone, kind of just playfulness. You know, we play peekaboo with our moms when dads were flirting with them. You're still doing that, but on a bigger scale, and it's perfectly okay. It has to be fun. It has to be enjoyable for you. And, you know, it's kind of like being playful because in about the first 4 minutes that someone sees you, they will decide pretty quickly if they'd like to have something go on between the two of you. It may never go on, but in 4 minutes of looking you up and down, they're probably going to decide right then. And when a man looks at a woman as opposed to a woman looking at a man will typically look at a woman like this. You know, he'll kind of go up and down. Women more so zone in on your face. So, you know, Tony, you've done it. You want to do it? You go like, uh-huh. Do it, Tony. Yes, you did it so well.
I want to tell you that I'm happy and I'm honored that you've dressed up for me tonight. And for
I did. And look, let's show those. I even put on some high heel. These are my high heel shoes I put on for you tonight because I thought, how can I be sexy in this talk and not have on some high heel shoes? So I said, let me put on my high heel shoes. And you dressed up too because now we have a date.
Yeah, I did put on the velvet jacket just for you.
I love it. We're on a date. We're on a date. So, okay, so those few pieces of information I wanted you to also gather. And so let's take this kind of like journey together. 2 journeys I want to take with you because often we say, what is my ideal mate? You know, what really is my ideal mate? And it's pretty tough for us to understand what that is. But the way that you can really find out who you were suited best for is that you have to start, maybe get a sheet of paper and you list the people you have had major relationships in your life. You know, all the people starting with even second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, eighth grade. Put their names on a sheet of paper. And then on that sheet of paper, I want you to answer a couple of questions. One was, what was my first impression of that person? And then you know, whatever person it is, you just list that. Second, what attracted you to that person to begin with? And you just put down, was he athletic? Was he strong? Was he played good music? Did he play sports? Thirdly, what was the best thing about the relationship that you and he had, if you had a relationship or you and she had? And then I want you to list the negative qualities that you thought that this person maybe had. And then I want you to list the positive qualities that you think the person had. And so once you have these, it's only 5 points that you would do. Once you have these, then you can see there's a certain trend and a certain pattern in the kind of people you have always been attracted to. It could be that first boyfriend I had in second grade. His name was Kayward Bouillon. Oh my God, I just thought Kayward just hung the moon. He was a cowboy. And so when I think back of Kayward, you know, if I put down, he was playful, he was funny, everybody else liked him too. So I guess in my life, I've always looked for a guy that everyone else liked too. So when you have these listing, then you can kind of make an analogy and see, but it's kind of a good thing for us to do because we don't even do that or even think, but something attracted you in fourth grade to some girl or in sixth grade. And what was it about Mary Jane? Was it her pigtails or was it the way she walked into the room? Was it the way she dropped her book? So something attracted you to her. And then from that, you go around and you just kind of figure out in the present, the person you're with now, see, does that person fit, you know, all of those requirements that you had? So this is a little test that I thought everyone should take. And then I'm going to ask you a series of 8 questions before I give you tips on flirting. And this is your flirting style. There will only be 3 answers for each. So I'll give you a question and you either choose A, B, or C. So question number 1 says, you're meeting a friend for happy hour and she's late. You, A, keep your head down, don't talk to anyone else, get a drink and share a few jokes with the bartender, or perch yourself sexually on a bar stool, run your hands through your hair and scope out the place. So what would be your answer, A, B, or C? Just write it down so that you can have it for your own. So that's question number 1. Question number 2, you're at a comedy club and you're dragged on stage to participate in a silly routine. Do you, A, are you totally embarrassed in front of everyone? B, do you just roll with it even though you look a little foolish? Or C, you take over the entire act and because it's your time to shine now. So would you say A, B, or C? Here comes question number 3. At a party, you're talking with the group when a person you have been trying to attract enters the conversational circle. Do you A, clam up, 2, gradually include him into your conversation, or C, become animated and funny? So A, B, or C, do you clamp up when they come near you? Do you include them in the conversation gradually, or you just then become funny and kind of animated? So that's A, B, or C. Next question, this is number 4. Once you spot someone who you're interested in, do you A, avoid eye contact because it's way too nerve-wracking, play peekaboo for a few seconds where you look and you look away, then you look again, or C, do you use thunderbolt eye contact with them until they finally come to talk with you? So if you see someone across the room spotting you, and what do? You avoid their eye contact. Do you look at them, then look back, or do you just stare at them until they finally come to talk with you? Let's go on to our next question. So that was A, B, or C. To seal the deal, once you're chatting with your new potential sweetheart, do you accidentally brush his or her forearm when you're telling a funny story? Do you cling or monopolize his attention in conversation the whole evening? Or C, do you create a nickname for your new friend as a stepping stone to intimacy? Okay, so you got that. To seal the deal, now you're with him, you're talking with him. Do you accidentally brush their arm? That's A. Do you monopolize the conversation? That's B. Or C, do you create a little nickname for them so that you can have fun with them the rest of the evening? Here we come to number, this is number, I think, 6. 6 says this. The most seductive part of the hand is the thumb, the fingers, or the wrist. What do you think, Tony?
I would say the wrists.
It is the wrist. Because in movies, in days of old, they'd always have a girl, in black and white movies, smoke a cigarette so that she could expose the wrist. It's a sign that says, I'm available. So I don't want all our listeners to go around the city, kind of doing this. But, just the way that the hand is positioned here, they make them go, and then they show the wrist. So the wrist is the sexiest part of the hand. So that question just said, what is the most seductive part of the hand? It's the thumb, A, the fingers would be B, and the wrist is C. Here's second to last question. To arouse the attention of an attractive person who is walking a dog. So an attractive person's walking a dog. Do you A, comment on the dog? Oh, that's a good looking dog. Begin to talk to the dog, or wink and smile coyly towards the attractive person? So you got three choices there, A, B, or C. And then our last question would be this. The best way to flirt while enjoying a liquid refreshment is to A, order a drink that comes with an umbrella, order a drink that comes with a straw, or order a shot of anything. The best way to flirt when you're wanting to flirt with someone at the bar, would you order a drink that has an umbrella in it? Would you order a drink that comes with a straw so you can play with that? Or would you order a shot of anything? So the answers would be A, B, or C. So what happens after the quiz is you just add up how many A's, how many B's, how many C's you have. And then if you're mostly A's, this is what the analysis says. If you're mostly A's, you're a shy beginner, you're kind of polite, you're smart enough to know that flirting can help, but you really need some help in kind of getting yourself to be a better flirter. So mostly B's. B's, of course, answers there would be a charming seducer is what it's called. They kind of know the game. They don't know exactly what to do, but it's probably the best one. And then mostly C's, they're an advanced Casanova. Were you mostly C's, Tony? An advanced Casanova?
I can't say.
You can't say.
Yeah.
You don't say. We'll keep that in the books for something else. So you kind of get that, so it's so interesting. I want people to realize what kind of person are they attracted to? And you can figure that out so easy by just taking this test and putting the names of your lovers on a sheet of paper and then understanding what's your flirting profile. And maybe some people say, well, I try to do those things, but no one comes to speak with me sometimes. But you have to remember to always be approachable. If you look like you would hurt their feelings if they came to ask you to dance, they will never come to ask you to dance. So even though someone is keeping time to the music, kind of doing this, you look fun. That's much better than someone just sitting there like a bump on a log. I had a friend she was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We'd go out, never get asked to dance, never get asked to dance. And she kept saying, Jan, I don't know why people dance with you and they don't dance with me, because she was a good dancer, but she was not approachable. She would be the kind that, if someone came to ask her to dance, she'd say, well, not now, or, just something. And so I had to coach that girl till she finally got it right. But that's what you have to just be approachable, kind of being fun, kind of being a little bit loose. So we're going to take girls first. You ready? I'm going to give you a series of things that girls do that say, oh my gosh, he looks so good, or she looks so good, and I want to be in touch with them. So the very first thing that a woman does.
Before you go on that, not before we go too far off topic, Allison asks, Jan, do you feel eye scans will become more pronounced now with people wearing face masks?
Yes. They'll be like, because that's about the only thing we can communicate with, our eyes and our eyebrows. So even the eyebrow lifting of acknowledgement is going to be what you're going to see without the mask. So but the eyes now will have to really just zero in on someone. It will be a little funny to flirt with that mask on, because a lot of our smiles were done. Yeah, what?
I will say this. Somebody had said the other day, you want to get some looks, take a Sharpie or something and draw a smile, or with the tongue sticking out or something. So depending on what you want to do, depending on your personality, I've seen so many where, the mask is like, a dog with his tongue hanging out, or kissy lips, or big goofy lips with rotten teeth. There's all kinds of like really crazy masks out there. So depending on what you put.
I saw one that had a smile. Now I'd buy that one. I made myself a Chanel mask. I'll have to send you a picture of it, Tony.
Nice.
I made one. Yeah, I would have made a Chanel mask. I got to make a Chanel mask.
Right.
So then, when I'm doing talks on stage, people will usually say, okay, what are some gestures that men do? What are some gestures that ladies do? And look, she says, lay off the Botox, ladies, so you can move your eyebrows a bit much. For all of us ladies, finally I can move mine, so that's pretty good. But I usually bring someone up and act them out, these gestures. But I'm going to just give you some. Let me just list some that ladies would do. Because most of the time, I think that men think that a woman would touch her hair when she's attracted to you, but that's not the very first thing that a lady does. A lady does 3 things before she even touches her hair. The first thing a woman does in this courtship ritual, a woman will always cross her leg towards the person she's interested in. So Tony, if you're sitting on my right and I want you to know that I'm kind of interested in you, I would definitely cross my leg towards you. Then once my leg is crossed towards you, I would then begin to slightly kick the leg a bit, kind of a sexual rhythm. It's like, you see the leg kind of, it can't be fast, because a fast kicking leg is a sign of impatience. So it has to be a slow kick. And then the biggest gesture that women still do to this day is simply the dangling of the shoe when that leg is crossed. So women dangle their shoes. That goes back to the Cinderella effect. That goes back to the beginning of time with wedding cars years and years ago. It was shoes that were hung. Now it's cans and everything else. But shoes are, dangling the shoes is a big one. And even in some countries, years ago, they would put a red shoe on the porch to let others know there was a single woman in there who was ready to date. And so, or some, as a good luck charm, would put a shoe in the cement of the steps going to the porch, just for good luck for the whole home. So it was kind of an interesting thing. So let me just give you some that women do. First of all, we cross our legs towards you. Second, we lick our lips. This is when we could see lips, and give the Marilyn Monroe smile. Now, the Marilyn Monroe smile is when someone kind of, pulls the lips in like this. Let me see if I could do it like, kind of like that. That is the Marilyn Monroe smile. So we give them a smile this way. When we walk away, we tend to swing our hips a little bit more. We dangle the shoe. We flip the hair, because hair is like saying, do you think I look nice enough for you? Always, the touching of the hair always has to do with some kind of thing that you're thinking to yourself. Do I look nice enough for this person? Even just twirling 1 or 2 strands. So that's a big one. Sometimes a lady will sit and she'll have one leg crossed over the other. And we're going to take our fingers here and intertwine them and hold onto the upper crossed knee. You know what I'm talking about? Can you understand, Tony? When we're doing that, we're holding onto that knee. That is emphasizing that we're thinking to ourselves, I'd love to hold on to you, but I'm going to look prim and proper now, and I'll hold on to myself. So when you see someone doing that, it is an indicator of that. Another gesture that ladies do when they're finding someone attractive, sometimes a lady will touch herself in ways that she wished she was being touched. Let me give you an example. Mariah Carey does it really well. She'll be on stage singing, and she'll take her hands and she'll just kind of rub them on the sides of her body this way. So that is a big body language gesture that says, I want you to come do this to me. But you have to do it like you're real sexy, Tony. I'm just kind of doing it right there. So I want to mention that. Another one is a woman who is attracted to someone and is comfortable with them. If she's seated, she'll probably sit on one of her legs. So you know how we're seated and we turn a leg underneath us and we sit on that leg, and that says, I feel very comfortable with you. I'd like to get to know you better. So that definitely is one. Another one that we do is exposing the wrist. We also tilt the head. That says, I'm interested in what you're saying. A lot of times a woman who is trying to reel someone in and they're close to them will lower her voice, because she feels that when she lowers her voice, he does have to come in a bit closer so that he hears her. So it definitely is, the voice is being used. Sometimes when it's courtship, soothing her hands over her hips, flashing her eyebrows, sometimes even playing with the ring. You see what I'm just kind of playing with my ring here? When someone plays with an object that is sentimental to them, many times they're doing this because they want to feel secure about the relationship. So you see, even men will talk and they're going to kind of be playing with the ring, this way and this way, or tugging it this way. That usually says they're feeling insecure right now and they need to touch one of those things. But if someone does have a ring and they're playing with it and then they take the ring completely off, it usually indicates that they would like to get out of the relationship that the ring represents. So you understand the difference? So just touching it would be like, oh yeah, I'm thinking about my husband who gave me this ring right now. But if I would take it completely off, it would be that maybe I'm thinking of getting out of that relationship. So Tony, don't ever take your ring off. It might not be a good thing.
Yeah.
And another one that girls do, that ladies do, is that we hike up our skirts just a little bit higher when we cross our leg to make certain that a little piece of our thigh may show. Now, these are all real forward gestures, but there are some simpler things that you can do. But these are some way out there gestures, but the one that you can do that maybe doesn't look like you're really ready or getting like you want to attack this person would be just to cross the leg and kind of dangle the shoe, gently touch the hair, even playing with the necklace, or even touching here, even touching this dimple right here. I might be talking with you and maybe playing here. This is a very gentle part of the body, because if you're being choked, that's the part that hurts you. But sometimes ladies may even do like this when they're talking with you. When they're doing that, a lot of times they're thinking about, well, I would feel good if he kissed me right here on my neck. So all of these little things that you see are just make you crazy. The best thing would be for us to go into a bar and watch couples and see who would be trying to pick up who. I've had a fun time doing that, because I did a show with Gayle King. Gayle King, who is Oprah's best friend. She used to have a TV show in Connecticut, and that was the first show I did with her. We shot in a bar. And so we were watching these couples, and, they'd start off just there, and then some would get together and talk. And so we're trying to see who would take who home maybe. But think of it, even if you're seated at a bar, let's say I'm seated at a bar and you're seated on the side of me. Well, that space in front of me, at that bar, that is my space, because, we have territorial rights here, and the space in front of you is your space. So let's say we start a conversation. I take a drink of my drink and I just put it down in my space. You take a drink of your drink and you put it down in your space, and we continue talking. Then maybe on my next drink, I take a sip and I put the drink down in your space. If you allow me to keep my drink in your space, you're probably going to allow me to do something to you later. So, and then
fascinating. By the way, guys, share this video. I told you it was going to be hot. Share this video. There's so much great stuff that's coming out of here. You're going to want to share this and tag your friends.
It's so funny.
And how great is that? You just gave everybody an amazing gift, right? We all have a new game to play when we go out and we're going to restaurants or bars. We have a new game to play. This is so awesome.
A new game, yeah. And then too, if I put my drink down in your space, and let's say you take your drink and you put it down in my space, when there's some exchange of spaces, there's probably going to be some action that happens later that evening. So it's kind of a fun thing that you can watch for if you're at a bar. So for ladies, we have a lot, just a lot of things. So I want to go into some flirting gestures that men do. And then I want to show you how to flirt with objects, your drink, your glass, your glasses. So I'll go through all of that with you. So let's take guys. Let me just give you some things that guys do. And guys are so fun to watch. We just love guys in the world. So the first thing that a guy does when he sees someone who looks attractive, of course, guy starts to preen. He starts to kind of push the hair back, and we like you to do it. It's called primping. And he sits up a little bit straighter, maybe pulls his tummy in somewhat. So that's the first thing that he's going to do. That is a big courtship gesture. Second one that a guy normally does is if he has a shirt, he will do this. He will adjust that shirt. This is like he's thinking, am I looking good enough for you? And then, Tony, you're going to demonstrate this because I'll show you. They will pull their shirt like this. You know how you pull your shirt in your sleeves? Yeah, that is a big one. And what's happening there, you're giving yourself a little bit of a kind of protection from someone else, but it's like, I'm ready for you. I'm ready for you. Prince Charles does this sometimes when he's getting ready for a meeting. But so touching the hair, straightening out the tie, pulling on the cuff, excessive buttoning and unbuttoning of a jacket when they're in your presence. So let's say you had that suit jacket on and we're standing up next to each other and you're taking the button and you undo it and then you button it back, then you unbutton it, or let's say you have a jacket that requires a zipper up here. So as we're talking, you unzip the jacket, we're talking, you zip, you're just kind of playing with that. When you see someone doing that, something's nervously going on with them and they're wanting a little bit more action, then let's say that you played with the button and then after a while you take your jacket off and you put your arms this way and your jacket's kind of just pushed back at your waist. Then you're getting a little bit hotter and a little bit better. And then let's say you take the jacket completely off and you throw it over your shoulder like in the olden time. You have him hook, line, and sinker. So you might want to watch for those 3 steps. They got to play with the button for a while, bring the jacket back at the waist, and then take the jacket off and just hang it on the shoulder. Huge, huge courtship gesture. The one that is the most fun and that people are in awe about is that one of the biggest things that a guy does when he's nervous around you and maybe wants to date you is that he will lift up or play with his socks in some form of fashion. Men will always touch their socks when they're nervous. It's kind of like a displacement thing. I see you pulling up your socks now, Tony. Or they retie a shoe. They might lift a leg up, put it on a bench, and they'll retie the shoe. Or maybe it's a big courtship gesture, and it goes back to the women with the shoe. So for males and females, the number one gestures, she dangles her shoe, he pulls up his socks. Those are some of the biggest gestures you will see. They're nonchalant, and the guy's not even aware that he's doing this. He's just doing it because he's a little bit nervous and wants to look his best. And I've seen guys who even sneak sock pulls, but anytime he pulls up the sock, something's going on. He's probably interested in. Let me tell you a few others. Another one is that he may squeeze an object when he's in your presence. Let's say I have this water bottle here, and you and I are talking, and I just start squeezing it this way, squeezing it. It usually typically says, "I'd like to squeeze you, baby." So you may want to watch a guy who's talking with you, has a Coca-Cola can, maybe squeeze it, lets it go, squeeze it, lets it go. Everything that people do, even using the straw and drinking like this, can be a sexual connotation. So you can use it, with any object that you have. Another one that men do, which is really cute, guys do a cowpoke stance. Cowpoke stance would be where a guy would be standing and maybe takes his thumbs and points them towards his zipper area. You see this way?
Yeah.
This is angling and trying to make you look at that part of his body. So you might want to do that cowpoke stance. It's kind of a cute thing that guys do. And also a guy will use his size and space to make him look bigger, because it's like a peacock, wanting to be bigger in front of someone. So a guy will spread. He might even, if there's a wall, place an arm on that wall and kind of lean against that wall. Yeah, put his shoulder like that, exactly like that. You should have been in movies, Tony. You're doing it so well. So yeah, he'll do exactly that way. And then oftentimes a guy will use what we call an unnecessary touch. He may just kind of brush you on the arm this way. Even sometimes under a table, like a business meeting, a thigh will accidentally touch someone else's thigh. But all of these are having to do, or maybe a foot would touch someone else's foot. So it's like playing footsie down there. He flattens his abdomen. So there's, and then they kind of look at you up and down. Let me see what else I thought was oh, yes. Guys normally sit with their legs spread wide apart. I'm doing it right now, Tony. You know it? Get it, Tony. So those are all kinds of things that guys do. Let me give you some things.
By the way, I have a question with the water bottle. What does it mean? Because inevitably, and I do this sometimes, but there's some people that are just incessant. You look at them, you already know that their beer bottle's got no label, their water bottle's got no label. They'd peel the glass off the cup if they could. What does it mean? What does that say? And somebody
agitation, like pulling. To give you an example of how you can use this, I did a commercial for Starbucks years ago. They had called me. They had a new drink coming out called Mocha Coconut Frappuccino. I couldn't even say the word Frappuccino when they first called me. And they had sent me a note. They said, we're looking for a body language expert who is also a strawologist. So I thought, what are they talking about? And so they said, can you do that? And so, you never say no. So I just said, yeah, I can do it. So then they sent me back some information. They said, we want to know, what does the behavior of our coffee drinkers, the things they do with their straw, say about their personalities? So then I went on to Seattle, and we did some cupping with some coffee. And then the next morning we went Pike's Market, and there was a fresh thing of Frappuccino. So I took it at that and talked about, some people take their straw and they'll chew it this way. Some people take their straw and they kind of talk with it like this. Some people take their straw and they nod in it. So we went through all of these things that people do with their straws. I still have the research on that. It'd be interesting to find out. But yes, I am a strawologist. So that's why I know what to do with drinking straws.
Tell us a little bit. Hold on. We get this one. He's probably the conductor, right? He's conducting music or something. Yeah,
right? He wants to take the lead. And the chewing was the one who was a little bit insecure. The people who knotted it up were uptight. I can't remember. Some were the precise ones, put one thing over, made it kind of like a zigzag like this. So I had gone, and some, we use the straw to take the whipping cream off, you see, this way. So we went through all of that. It was really fun, but it was Mocha Coconut Frappuccinos, and I was the strawologist for Starbucks. That's funny. I didn't mean to get off the pattern.
No, great. These are all fascinating things that we see people do. So to get a little insight into that I'm telling you, it's like magic. Everybody.
Okay, so let me show you.
I'm telling you, this is gold. You're going to be able to go to Starbucks and really have a whole different experience. It's like,
I guess they were trying to, they wanted, every time they come up with a new drink, they look for a gimmick. And so the gimmick that year was, what's the behavior of our coffee drinkers, and what's their straw behavior? And one time Wrigley's Gum also had called and asked me to analyze the behavior of what people did with the silver wrapper in the gum. You know, just some people will make a tube out of it. Some people fold it really neatly. You understand what I'm saying? So all of that gives an indicator of the person's personality. Now that's really far-reaching, isn't it? I know, huh? Okay, so let me just give you a few things that people do with objects and flirting with objects. So one would be sunglasses or eyeglasses, where, you know, they might take them off and then maybe talk with you and do this. So anytime you're going to put something in the mouth, it's kind of a sexual thing. And typically people put things in mouths because they don't know exactly what to say at that moment. So it's a stalling technique, but it's also a flirting technique. So just remember that. Could be a straw, could be glasses. Another one that men do is adjusting the rear view mirror when someone nice looking is in the car behind them. You know, they're going to adjust it and they're going to let the person see them adjusting it. That is flirting with an object. Another one is when women apply lipstick in public. That is kind of a sexual thing. And it could be, you know, it's kind of like, yeah, you know, so it is one. Flirting with food when you're feeding someone else. And a good way to see how your relationship is working with the person you're with now, I want you to always check the pacing with which the two of you eat. So a couple might go on a date and the salad comes first. And then, of course, they're sitting at the salads. One might finish the salad in 2 bites and the other just casually takes the food and goes slowly. Typically, the way that a person eats will almost tell you the manner in which they are romantic with someone else. Isn't that cool to know? And you see some couples don't jive because one will be finished and these are still eating. So it'd be best if you're trying to maybe make points with that person to make sure that if you're at dinner, that you would eat accordingly to their speed. If you know body language, if not, you're going to do whatever you want to do. But let's say you really want to impress them. That would be one quick way to do it, is that, you know, make sure I wouldn't touch the other part of the meal till he touches the other part of the meal. But just thought I would tell you that. Licking of the fingers is one. The drinking straws. Oh, the best one. I wish I had a wine glass or a champagne glass. You know, you see people who take the champagne glass and go up and down the stem this way. You ever see that happen?
Mm-hmm.
Or someone will take the champagne glass and bring their hand. Those are all sexual, really, really sexual.
Got all kinds of jokes around those.
Yeah. So when someone is doing this, playing with the stem of the glass, playing with the ring around the glass, those are pretty sexual. And then one of them that people do that's kind of playful and sexual is that, you know, you're at a restaurant and at another table, you're with some girlfriends or men friends, and at another table, there's a person who you think looks really good. We do what's called a sexual peekaboo with the menu. We're going to hold it here and then maybe look and then hold it and maybe look, hold it, maybe look. It's like with kids, you know, toddlers love playing peekaboo. Big men love playing peekaboo with you. So if you want to just kind of be playful, you can even do some things of that sort. And then one that once you are, let's say, with that person and you're trying to stake claim to them, one way that you could easily do it is that pretend that you're just kind of fixing their shirt or maybe pulling a piece of imaginary lint on them. That is one of the biggest gestures. It says, I'm here with this person. I think you need to stop talking with us now because I want to talk with him. But the biggest gesture when a couple's together that says, this is my man and don't you talk with him tonight, is if I would touch your hair. If you would not want anybody to come and talk with me, you would have to some kind of way just kind of fix my hair. So hair touching of your mate is the thing that says, this is mine. I mean, I'm in love with this person. We're a team and leave us alone now because we want to be together this evening. Just a couple of those. And then even when a lady removes a coat and reveals some cleavage, I put a little bit of cleavage for you tonight. Twirling of the necklace, even the scent of our perfumes, touching. Oh, this would be one too. You know, someone who does this when they're talking with you, it says, you know, I wish you would kiss me, playing footsie, and then eating at different paces, and of course, invading someone else's space. So, I mean, I think, you know, the thing about it when you're watching for someone to see if they're interested in you, you have to look for the rule of 3. If you see just one flirting gesture, it's probably not going to happen. But if you see 3 flirting gestures together in the ones that I mentioned, probably you could have a chance to go talk with that person and maybe have a conversation with them and maybe establish some kind of relationship with them. But, you know, love makes the world go round. And isn't it fun just to have some kind of flirting and be approachable is the key thing. No matter what you're going through in your life, if you're somewhere and you really want to, you know, say, you got to be approachable. You got to look kind of like you're fun. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, Tony, did you learn a few things from this?
Oh, my God. This is so good. This is gold. This is gold.
He says that it's gold. I'm glad it's gold. So that's in here. And let me see what else. Oh, let me show you this. This is so fun. I did a study on people's shoes so that you can look at someone's shoes and it will tell you what kind of lover they are. You see the shoes? So ladies' shoes, and here's men. What kind of shoes are you wearing right now?
I'm wearing no shoes.
Oh, you're wearing no shoes. I have some good shoes on that. But, I even put a study on that as shoes. And so by the time you finish reading the book, you get not a driver's license, you get a lover's license because it's FREEWAY of love, but you got to pass all the tests. This
is a great one. Jan, how do I carry you around all the time?
Amanda, thank you. Did I help you? I hope I helped you. And that it could be.
Listen, you're helping everybody. Listen, you're helping people on both sides of the equation. This is so good. The name of the book is what is it? Highway of Love?
Oh, no, it's FREEWAY of Love. And just my website is my name. It's janhargrave.com. And, I wrote an online course. My course is also on my website, and it's janhargrave.com/course. So then you can, but I probably need to write a course on love because I wrote a course on business, but
you so should.
And so the great thing about this book is this: the chapters are titled songs, but the sub-chapters are titled highway directions that are sexual. Can you understand what I'm saying? So
repeat that?
Okay, the chapter titles are songs, but the sub-chapter titles are highway signs that are sexual. In other words, do not enter, curves ahead. You get it? Think of all the road signs you see on the road. Do not enter, tunnel of love, speed bumps ahead. If you think about it, so that's how I related driving a car, getting a license to love. And so on the book, I have speed bumps, roadmap to romance, lover's lane. Let me give you one that I thought was buckle up and enjoy the ride. So there's so many, I know there's so many signs that dead end, out of way places, soft shoulders ahead, dangerous curves ahead. So there was just so many things that I thought were equal. There was some symmetry between driving a car and the road signals and falling in love and keeping a relationship going. So I hope that helps and that you learned a few things from this tonight.
We're getting so many great comments. Oh my God, love you. I need this book. I mean, I can't click on them fast enough. This is fantastic and funny. You did help us. Jan Hargrave is the best. Love Jan, slippery when wet. Oh my God. Listen, they just keep coming. Yes, please, a course on love. Listen, absolutely. Certainly, I'd love to help you push that one for sure. Let's see. Book FREEWAY. There's so many. I'm having a hard time keeping up. It's so much fun. I need to flirt more effectively. This is great. These are great.
We covered a lot of things, and you can have, they'll be recorded so they can go back and they can write the things that I said.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of doing them here, because not only are they going to be on our Facebook pages, but they'll also be on your page if you share it. So share this video. Give everybody the gift of Jan, right?
And do that. Because Tony, think about it. You might be in an airport and you're walking around, you see some person who's really, think about how the eyes would go. So let's say you and I are walking towards each other, and I'm looking at you and I'm thinking, God, I'd love for that man to talk with me. So look, my eyes are kind of looking at yours, and then let's kind of look at each other. So let me look at you for a minute, because we're passing each other by, and then we're going away from each other. And then I think I'll probably never see that person again, and maybe I should have stopped him and talked with him then. That's what happens, in life. We don't let him go. We kind of, we just kind of let them go. And sometimes we should have probably talked with them when we needed to talk with them. And then maybe we'll turn around and look at them from the back, because it's always good to look at someone from the back too. Don't you think, Tony?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm talking about.
What's going on?
Yeah.
So Amanda says, oh my God, Jan, you and Tony should do a joint course. Maybe that's something we can talk about. You never know.
Course on love. And you could be the model, Tony. You could be the example. And I'd be
I'd always rather be the example and not the warning. So I'm good with that.
Oh, we'll do it together. It'll be fun. It could be fun.
So people are definitely watching this again. Fun to think about love like this. And Lieba's asking to answer a question she asked earlier. We'll go back up to that. Let's see. If eyes can talk. Oh, wait, they do. The talking eyes. Absolutely. The danger zone. So good. Yeah, I love this line. I love this line. Jennifer just put it up. Hate to see you go, but I love to watch you walk away.
That's a good one. Hey, oh, and I have a chapter here. Let me try to find it on the best pickup lines. What are the best I don't know where I have it in the book, but boy, like, what's some of the good pickup lines that are so lame though now? What are some that people say? Oh, you must have stayed up all night because you walked in my mind, or something like that, or couldn't.
Your father must have been a thief because he stole the stars and put them in your eyes, or whatever.
Someone else send us a line right now. Some of the people who are with us today, send us the crummiest pickup line that you ever had. I can't find the ones I had in here, but yeah, it kind of is interesting to pick up lines.
So good, yeah. God, there's so many. I would drop some, but my wife would come into the room and no.
And Tony, your 16-year-old son was with us while I did this.
Yeah, I think he's actually sitting on the other side of this wall, actually.
I want to know what's his opinion, and has he ever pulled up his socks in front of a young girl yet? Have you pulled up your socks that you know of in front of your girl? He says he doesn't know. Probably not. You learn anything, son?
I don't know, maybe.
You can go back and rewatch it. And if you've got questions, don't worry. I've got answers. But
Tony, it's kind of good to let a kid, a person 16, 17, kind of know some of the things that people do, when they're interested in you. So I think it'd be great that even youngsters read this too.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is great, Lee, but my GPS must have been working because it took me straight to you. That's good.
Lee, that's a good. My GPS must have been working. It took me straight to you. God, and then the days that follow, let me see. She said, Jan, after you get in a fight with a loved one, what flirting can you use to get the romance back in action? That's a good one. You're going to have to sweet talk them some kind of way, baby. And you're going to have to, but probably the first thing that to try to get them back and kind of off track is to zone in on something else, not the two of you. Maybe this broken clock. I can never get this clock to work. Can you come look at this? So you probably, to get you back on track after you've had a big disagreement, would be to focus on another object except the two of you, so that you and then this talking will come back. We'll come back.
Oh, so great. This one is apropos for the time.
Betty is the best.
Is that a hand sanitizer in your pocket? Or are you just happy to be within 6 feet of me?
Betty, that's the best, girl. You got it. She's the winner. You're the winner, Betty. You must be from Tennessee because you're the only 10 I see. I love it, David. That's a good. Okay, let's see. Leva said, "Hey there, I feel you appear attractive, but I am curious if your inner beauty is as cool as your outer beauty." Now that one makes sense, at least, Leva, huh? But yeah.
There we go. Oh wait, as for that,
maybe flash a red lipstick. So we got.
How big is that lipstick that you've got back there? That thing is huge.
Lipstick. This is a lipstick. Let's see where I can put it.
That's one hell of a lipstick.
It's a lipstick, but it's really a vase. You see it? So it's a vase, but it's a lipstick, Revlon lipstick.
Very cool. This is an old one, but this is an oldie but a good. If I told you I like your body, would you hold it against me?
Yes, I've heard that one before. Yeah. I've heard that, Jennifer. That's great. If I told you you had a beautiful body, would you hold it against me? Oh, that's probably one of the best ones.
Oh, so good. There's so many good ones here, but you know what? I want to do Leva justice and try to go up and ask her a question. If I don't get to find it because there's so many here, I'll kind of ad-lib it. She says she's got a very raspy voice. Hold on, let's see if I can find her question. Holy cow, I can't go up any further. Hold on, maybe it's down here.
She has a raspy voice.
Here we go. I'm with guys a lot in sports, cycling and running. What are some gestures that she can look for?
You know what, too? I did an article in Runner's World. She can maybe go to Runner's World, or if I find the article, I can send it to you about when you're, let's say you're running and you pass another runner, and they're looking at you. The article was about how can you protect yourself from being preyed on while you're on the jogging trail. So I was teaching things that you shouldn't do with eye contact, you know, that would invite someone if you didn't want them to come to talk with you. So probably if you're in sports and you're cycling, it's going to probably have to be the friendliness, it's going to have to be the eye contact, it's going to have to be the smiling at the person, and to probably telling them that they can be a little bit, that they're a better cyclist than you are, will always boost up a few points on your side. So you could always do that, just a few little gestures that way. And then always accidentally touching someone, because touch is really important, you know, and you can remember a touch from someone special for years to come, years to come. You know, if it's a brush on the arm, a brush on the thigh, you can remember that if it was, you know, worthwhile to you. And look, Betty just put us note. She said, baby, do you need toilet paper? If so, I can be your Prince Charming. I love it, Betty.
Oh, they keep coming in now. These are great. Do you know what my shirt is made of? Boyfriend, girlfriend material.
Yeah.
Nice.
Do you know my shirt is made of boyfriend material? Yeah, that's a good one, Amanda. Those are also fun. We could take a study of what all these, oh, here's another one. Are you a part?
Because you got fine written all over you.
You got fine written all over you.
But I'm pretty good with numbers. Tell you what, give me yours and watch what I can do with it. Nice.
Nice. Your digits. That's what most people say now, I guess, huh?
For a woman who likes an alpha or beta male, how should she flirt?
You know what? You can even flirt with your mind. You know, and I think that's what happens in life, is that intelligence is really sexy too. So, you know, if you don't want to use any of these things that I taught you, you can, in your conversations, is have really intelligent, you know, I think they would respect you, they would honor you, and they would see how smart you are. So don't ever think that, you know, just it doesn't have to be all physical. It also can be in your head. So make sure that you let people know that you're intelligent, that you're interested, but you're interested in what you're doing. And look, here's another one. You smell so good. Is that Purell you're wearing?
Oh, these are great. Well, listen, we could do a whole show just on pickup lines: the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah. Look, this one said, aside from being sexy, what do you do for a living?
Oh, that's great.
We're going to keep these. We're going to use them in the book. Okay, look what she said. Oh, she said, I really can't stay. She said, baby, it's COVID outside. COVID-19 outside. That's a good one.
Your name must be Google because you have everything I've been searching for. Ooh, baby.
Y'all, those are the best.
Some golden nuggets there. That's great.
You have to keep those, Tony. Keep them all for us so we can go back to them again.
God. Listen, this has been so good.
And so fun, huh? I thank the people who listened to us too. That was very sweet.
Yeah. Are you from Starbucks? Because I like you a latte.
I like you a latte. That's a good one. Dimple is correct. Dimple, you're right. Nothing sexy. So listen, it's
so true, because everybody, listen, they say that skin is only beauty is only skin deep, and well, ugly does go down to the bone. But the reality of it is, you know, it's so great to meet another person that's got intelligence and not just looks. Because there's nothing there's yeah. So I love the intelligence. I love the humor. If you don't have those, then it's a difficult conversation for sure.
Intelligence is sexy. Humor is sexy, and genuine will for another is also sexy. So that's kind of a good thing. Look, this lady put one. Amanda, hi Amanda. She put, want to play coronavirus and get spread on hard surfaces.
Whoa, they're getting hard. Oh, wait, I mean,
those are good, y'all. That is good.
Oh, God. I got a stimulus package that's guaranteed to improve your economy. Wow. Yeah, Amanda, you got some zingers there, too. One reply, neither. The only thing I'm looking for is your reply. Very nice. So
one ply, two ply means of tissue, neither. The only thing I'm looking for is your reply.
So good.
We could have fun with these all day. But Tony, thank you so much for hosting this. And then it was so fun.
You know, of all days that I wish we can go over, today we can't. But here's the good news, everyone. The good news is that Jan and I spoke last week after the show, which is how this one came about. Again, by request by Betty and so many others. that Jan is going to be joining me. She won't be joining me every week. I don't want her getting tired of me, but she's going to be joining me every other Wednesday. And we're going to come and bring you some new techniques, some new learnings, some new things for you to learn and to grow and expand on. And remember, listen, none of this is any good unless you share it with people.
Yeah.
Right. So share it. Share some humor. Share some knowledge. Share. My God, there's so many comments still coming in. I got to start writing down more often. I get so many crazy lines. Oh, right. In fact, so good that pure. Oh, wait, I had already read that one.
This is my favorite. Oh, no.
Anyway, everyone's just saying thank you. Hell yes, this is great. Thank you so much. This was awesome. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Jan, thank you so much for spending some time with me. Listen, I've loved you for so long, and I've been wanting to do something with you for so long. So I'm so excited that we're doing this. And I look forward to what else we're going to be creating together, co-creating, because yeah, this is so much fun. So, any last words?
Any last words from me?
Yeah.
Love often, laugh a lot, and live well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Love each other, be kind to each other. Even more important, to be kind and to love yourself. Right? One of the things that I tell people all the time is, as a matter of fact, I told this to my mom not long ago. I says, the best thing you can do for us, the best thing you do for your grandkids, really the best thing you can do for those you love is to love yourself.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? So love yourself, because you can accept others' love in a much deeper level, and you can love them at a deeper level as well. So yes, love on each other, love on those who love you, and send a little love to those who don't. Love you, my friend.
There's different kinds of kisses too. Maybe we'll talk about that one day.
We'll cover that one next time, because this can't be over yet. Because this topic is too good. We've got to kind of roll over with it. We got to roll around it. Oh, see what I did there. So I am looking forward to meeting up with you again. Maybe it's in 2 weeks. Maybe you decide to come back next week. That's to be determined. But I do want to say thank you and I would just want to thank you again. This has been absolutely fantastic again. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone for sharing. Click share. It's not too late. Tag your friends, spread this around like a virus, and get onto YouTube and subscribe to my channel. And I look forward to seeing you guys again here tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow we have the one and only Joseph McClendon back with us tomorrow. So join us tomorrow. It's going to be another amazing day. Jan, don't go away. I want to talk to you just for a second. Everyone, thank you so much for coming. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for participating, playing full out, for all your comments, for all your lines, for all your questions. I thank you. I appreciate you. I honor you. And remember, my friends, that life is not about how many times you fall. It's about getting up after every fall, because you fall down 7 times, you get up 8, and every single time you fall, you have an opportunity to get up and grow we must. And that goes for relationships. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for watching. Love you all. See you tomorrow. Ciao for now.
Ciao.